Hi, just wanted to do a quick overview of the new LinkedIn Career Explorer tool. A lot of people are playing around with this for the first time, and I thought it might be helpful to put together a quick little guide to using it and just what is this tool useful for, who does it apply to, and how you can get the most out of it. So to start, the way you get here is you go to linkedin.com/career explorer and it'll log you into your account on LinkedIn and it'll import a lot of that information from it automatically. So here, for example, it knows that I'm a marketing major. I have a bachelor's degree and the expected industry is marketing and advertising. But for this purpose, I'm going to change that to public relations and communications just to make it a little different. And then once you have all this here, you just easily click start your path. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you what an expected first job out of this degree would look like. And they'll give you 4 examples, but that doesn't mean that those are the only 4 you can put in here. But for my purposes, I'm going to go with marketing assistant. You can see the time and job and how well of a forecast there is for that kind of position. So apparently there's a lot more interns than there are marketing assistants right out of school. What kind of education you need, and then the expected salary range. So you just click on that, and then likewise you can follow these little prompts. It's pretty easy, but you just pick the next couple ones. And if say they don't have what you're looking for here, like for example, after being a marketing coordinator, what if you're looking really to move up into being a brand manager? You can just type it in down here and LinkedIn will find it and it still puts a lot of that same information into it. So that's really cool. And then we'll do the same thing here. I want to be a senior brand manager after that. Click here. All right, so now that it's got all my different jobs up here, it gives me this new display. And what you'll want to do is you'll probably actually want to pay attention to the top bar first. And if you actually hold your cursor over it, it gives you a lot more information that could be useful. So, for example, I see all the same things about the education, time, and salary, but it also will tell me what kind of people I have in my networking list that would apply to this. So that's really cool. And you can also do the same thing to see what kind of companies have these kinds of positions available fairly often. So once you're done looking at that, then it's cool to look down here and see the jobs that are available in that first area that you picked. So for example, you can see some sales and marketing assistant positions, marketing administrative jobs, stuff like that. So for the next part, I'm going to show you the bottom. Okay, now if you scroll down, you'll see this little setup here. And what's cool about this map is that it shows you the more orange they are, the higher density of those kinds of jobs there are also. And the bluer they are, the lower density of jobs available in that area. So for me, if I'm looking for a marketing assistant job, I want to stay out of the Midwest and whatever all these states are up north too, which makes a lot of sense. But California, Texas, California, New York, Florida, those are all high marketing jobs, and that definitely makes sense. Then over here, you can see the age distribution, which is also pretty useful. You can look up your age and see, well, are you really fit well with what's typical of that job, or are you kind of an older person going into one of those jobs that usually is dominated by younger people? That might help also steer you into the right kind of jobs that you're looking for. Okay, so for the next part, I'm going to show you what you would do with this tool. All right, so now I'm up on the top again, and what I'm going to do is I look at these jobs, but maybe they don't match where I want to be. I'm looking for one that's closer to where I'm at, where these ones are all across the US. So what you can do is you can go to search for jobs, click on that, and then this will give you a bunch of different lists of jobs that are in there. But I'm going to put in location, in or near, and then I'm going to put in a zip code somewhere in Arizona. It doesn't really matter for this purpose. And we'll give it a 50-mile radius. And what's cool here is you can see it's found a job and it has the title there that I'm looking for, marketing assistant, and it tells me all about that. I can drill into it even further by clicking on this and it'll have the full details. I've already looked at this one and it definitely, for this purpose, would be a good fit for the kind of experience that someone coming out of college would have for those kinds of positions. So that's good. It just shows that they really do match quality jobs for what you're putting into the system. I like that a lot. Now I wanted to show you the next thing that I would recommend by going back to the portal tool. All right, say that you have found the job you like, or you found a company that you're interested in, or maybe you found a person that's in the position that you're looking for. What would you do next? How can you use this tool to help get you to your next part of your career path that you've outlined up here? And so what I suggest is you pick one of the people that pops down through there if you're just looking for that person. And for this example, we'll say that I found the job or the company I'm looking for, and it's this one right here. And I look over and I see, okay, I have a second contact with this person. What you can do is you can click on that profile, and from there you can see who knows that person that you know already. And what I would do in this case is I would call up that person. We'll say her name is Sally, and I'd be like, hey Sally, thanks for your help when we were in school together. That marketing 300 class was a pain. But I wanted to see if you could maybe do a favor for me. And she'll be like, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, what I was wondering is I'm looking at becoming a marketing assistant. And I noticed that you're friends with a guy named Darren. She could be like, yeah, that I do know him. Me and him worked on the same, or under the same marketing club or whatever. You're like, oh, that's awesome. I was just wondering if you could tell me a little bit about him and maybe help me get an introduction so I can learn more about what he's doing and how he got into a position as a marketing assistant. And so she'll probably, if she's a friend of yours, and most people on these contact lists in LinkedIn, I recommend are people that you actually know pretty well, and they're going to be totally fine with introducing you to their friends because they know how great a person you already are. But when you get that introduction with the person, we'll call this guy Darren, and you go in, how I would really introduce myself is I would say, hey Darren, I'm a friend of Heather's. I saw that you have a great marketing role at the company you're at currently, and I just wanted to see if maybe we could talk sometime so I can learn more about how you get into a marketing assistant role like you have right now, or whatever role it is you're looking for. And most people will be pretty flattered. They'll love sharing about how they got there. So in a nutshell, pretty much this tool is a really good way to find those positions that are next in your career path, find out what titles would be, or just some examples of different titles to look at. It gives you a guide for finding the right people to start making connections with. And then it also shows you career openings in the field you're looking at, so you can actually find those jobs. And if LinkedIn doesn't have a whole bunch of jobs, because a lot of these ones are quality over quantity, you can use those titles that you're finding from this tool and do searches for those titles through any of the other online career tools. So I highly recommend it. I think it's really good for anyone who's first starting out on their careers or is still early in on it. It's probably harder for someone who is further into their career and spent decades already doing something that they're interested in. But you still might have some ways to find people who you can connect with, though. So I hope this guide was helpful and that you find anything that we're sharing here a help for your career management as well. Thanks very much.